Govberg, and welcome to the world of Jaeger-LeCoultre. Today, I'll be your guide to the Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso Tribute Moon, caliber 853. Caliber 853 is a manually wound manufacture movement that can be energized by taking the crown in its first position flush to the case and turning it in a clockwise direction. Turn it gingerly with your fingers loose on the crown. As resistance builds, that's the watch's signal to you that it's approaching a fully wound mainspring. Do not turn past the point of stiff resistance, as this is the point at which the watch is fully wound and additional winding will damage the movement and overwind the watch. Now, there are a number of ways to set the indications of the timepiece, starting with the most fundamental, which is the winding and setting crown. Flush to the case winds the watch, pulled out to a stop allows you to set the watch. And you turn the crown counterclockwise to advance the hours and the minutes. Now, once you've set the time, there are two case flank correctors that are used for adjusting the radial date at 6 and the moon phase within the radial date. The pusher corrector on the flank at 8 o'clock is used to adjust the moon phase. The pusher corrector on the flank at 4 o'clock is used to adjust the date. Now, it's important to take note that a corrector tool, a pusher adjuster, is included in the boxed accessory set with this watch, and that can be used to quickly and easily actuate those case side pusher correctors. There are some handling restrictions. Now, you don't want to set either mechanism during its changeover. The safest way to do this is to simply advance the watch through the date change through 12 midnight and bring it to 6 a.m. The danger zone for the date is 8:30 p.m. to 3:30 a.m. This is the period during which the date is engaged in an automatic jump. If you attempt to use the manual pusher adjust during the changeover, you will crash the mechanism. So it's best to simply set both of them at the same time, advancing through midnight and the changeover to 6 a.m., setting the moon phase and the date before advancing to the current time. Now, it's also important to note that you can set the moon phase precisely. That is, don't rely on your eye, because with a 29.5-day life, the moon cycle is extremely incremental and can be too fine to set precisely with the naked eye. Go onto an internet chart that shows the days past the full moon. Advance the moon so that it's equidistant between the two flanks of the moon phase display. You'll be able to judge that visually when it's perfectly centered. Then, based on the number of days past the full moon, advance the pusher adjuster that number of clicks. Now you've properly synchronized the moon phase with the current moon. Now, the watch, of course, is a Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso, and the Reverso's rotating case is actuated by pressing on the side opposite of the crown. Regardless of which dial is showing, you press on the side opposite of the crown. Before we set the reverse side of the watch, the independent second time zone, it's worth noting that since 2016, the new Reverso models have included a quick release strap and clasp combination. You can see the pull tabs on the case back, allowing the strap to be removed quickly and easily using only a thumbnail, and no requirement of tools for intervention. The double deployant steel clasp, likewise, features a pusher that releases the clasp from its attachment to the strap, so you can withdraw both sides of the strap and the clasp from the watch, and then withdraw the clasp from the strap. Now, regarding that opposite side, as of 2016, the long-running Reverso dual-time display is controlled using a sliding adjuster that's built into the case flank, otherwise concealed when the watch is in its closed position. The adjuster, which is pulled and incrementally adjusted with a fingernail, allows you to change the 24-hour display on the reverse side. Now, it is a 24-hour display because the triangular index points to a sun or a moon clearly distinguishing between day and night as represented by the reference dial on the blue guilloche-cut reverse side. Not only is it simple and easy to use with its tool-free nature, but the pusher adjuster cleans up the flanks of the case by hiding within the carriage when the reverso is closed. Now, there are three principal hazards with respect to your watch: water, magnetism, and shock. Now, this watch is water resistant to 3 atm or 30 meters, which is sufficient for exposure to rain or splashes, but not immersion. However, no leather strap is ever water resistant, and leather should never be exposed to moisture. It does not match the water resistance of the timepiece itself. Keep that in mind when you take the watch outside and in contact with moisture. Moreover, it's important that when there is water on the case, keep all of the functions of the watch disused. Don't use the pusher adjusters, don't use the second time zone corrector or the crown, don't even wind the watch, as all of these activities can compromise the seals and allow water to enter the timepiece to catastrophic consequences. That's how you can help to avoid accidental drowning. Now, of course, water resistance is not a static feature of a watch, and as it moves farther away from factory service and more time passes after a factory assembly, the watch will have relatively less water resistance as seals age and lubricants dry. Therefore, the factory recommends minimally every year having the watch water tested at an authorized service center where the watch can be verified as water resistant or flagged as no longer water resistant. Now, the watch is also vulnerable to magnetism, which is a hidden killer of chronometric precision. A magnet will affect the ferrous hairspring at the center of your watch's heartbeat. Magnets are present in MRI equipment, refrigerator, purse and wallet closures, speakers and woofers, and high-powered wiring looms. And a magnetized watch will run erratically, either fast or slow. Specialized equipment is available at factory service centers to quickly and easily demagnetize your watch. Shock and concussion, however, pose more permanent threats to the condition of your timepiece, as shock and concussion can actually stop a watch if damage is severe enough. Disuse the watch during ATV, mountain bike, and snowmobile operation, firearms marksmanship, tennis, golf, or batting, as all of these are damaging concussive activities. Finally, every fine mechanical timepiece requires a full service. Jaeger-LeCoultre recommends approximately every 2 years. This will involve cosmetic restoration of your watch, restoration of hermeticity and water resistance, as well as cleaning, oiling, and regulation of your watch. Ultimately, this should be performed only at authorized service centers that have the specialized equipment, trained personnel, and original factory replacement parts to protect the value of your watch as an instrument and as an investment. Moreover, only these agencies can back parts and labor invested with a Jaeger-LeCoultre factory service warranty. Finally, call, text, or email our experts at govbergwatches.com, and they'll be happy to walk you through every phase of the ownership of this or any Jaeger-LeCoultre fine timepiece.